This game caught me by surprise as I'm a massive fan of old school JRPGs. Brown Dust 2 does a great job at capturing the feel of older JRPGs and implementing a story that complements that style of game. Today, I'm going to talk about Brown Dust 2, what I like, what I don't like, but keep in mind that this is an early access version of the game. Everything here is subject to change, and hopefully by the time it reaches global launch, it'll be in the best condition possible for those interested in the game. If you want to try the game yourself, the link is in the description as I believe it's in an open beta for Android exclusively. Anyways, let's get it poppin'. The 2D graphics, the OST, and yes, even the gameplay. Brown Dust 2 is so much fun. I'll admit, the portrait mode bothers me so much, but since the first beta is on Android, there is a workaround to force a landscape perspective, and when played like this, it does enhance the experience at the cost of possibly needing a monitor or TV to read the screen, which isn't a problem for me, but it may be a problem for anyone else that uses this method, forcing a lot of people to use the portrait mode, which I'm sure a lot of people will not enjoy. The way the story is told is quite weird, as you earn game cartridges which tell different parts of the overall story, and this will put you in different sections of the game. However, the game still feels very much like a classic JRPG on mobile with a few compromises. One thing that caught me by surprise is that all of the characters that I've unlocked so far have been from simply progressing through the story. I know, mind-blowing, right? Something you would have never expected from a mobile game. However, there is an item that you can obtain for recruitment, and at this moment, I'm not sure how to obtain the item, if you obtain it from simply playing the game or if it requires some sort of cash shop. However, I'm hoping that this is implemented to force you to participate in side quests for additional characters, as there are different rarities to the items needed. The gacha in this game was worrying for me at first, but when I started to think about most, if not all of the characters possibly being handed to you for free, it became less of an issue. The gacha is for costumes and weapons, which provide stat buffs and abilities, which I know is something that most people absolutely hate, but if all of the characters are actually free, I have no issue with this as long as there's no PvP within the game. The battle system is very simple, but could have a ton of depth later on when all of my characters are leveled and geared up. The name of the game is Positioning and Attack Order. During the attack phase, you're positioning your characters to attack specific units and hopefully take them out quickly. You'll also be swapping the order of every attack, as the order of the attacks can be very important in some of the battles. During the defensive stage, you'll be positioning your characters to avoid attacks or simply defend against attacks to minimize the damage given. Your abilities are based on the costume that your character is currently wearing, and you can swap the costumes mid-battle. So, when you use a skill, you can change the costume during the next turn to utilize another skill while the first is still cooling down. The best part of all of this is I'm sure I'm still scratching the surface and still very early into the game, and there are a ton of mechanics that I still don't even know about. So, what do I think? Based on where I am in the game and what I know so far, I'm enjoying the entire experience. The only downside is the portrait mode, but it isn't a deal breaker. I'm able to force landscape mode, which makes the device I'm playing on act more as a controller. The battle system, OST, 2D graphics, and everything involved so far has only excited me for the future of Brown Dust 2. Now, I do have some feedback. NeoWiz, if you're watching and listening, there are a few things you can do to ensure this game is a hit. First, native landscape mode that is selectable before the game even begins. Allow players to choose which screen orientation they want to play at, and add resolution options so that players can either play with small text on a huge monitor or with large text on a phone screen. Monetization is also going to be a huge factor to whether this kind of game is successful, because there are a lot of things that players will hate, such as costumes and weapons within the gacha system containing skills and buffs. If you can ensure that there is no PvP within this game and that Brown Dust 2 will be generous enough with its gacha currency, I'm sure none of this will be an issue. If you're worried about earnings, just make a ton of epic skins and provide a season pass that will provide items of value. I'm looking forward to seeing how much this game progresses and what changes you make, but so far so good in my opinion. There is such thing as balance. Make sure that it's not totally pay to win, while also finding ways to earn money to keep the game alive and pay those involved. I understand it's a hard thing to do, but hopefully you'll find that balance. Anyways, if anyone has any suggestions that can enhance this game, leave them in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with anyone who may be interested. And don't forget that the link to download this game is in the description. I don't know if it's still live when you're watching this video, but it is an open beta and anyone can download it as long as you're on Android. Have a wonderful day, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay chaotic. Well, bye now.